good start from the pole man as he blasts down towards pole position to turn 1. The Astra Hondas are well placed as well. Candra making his way forward as well. He's up into 4th, just chopping the nose off one of the Astra Hondas as they went through turn 1 for the first time. Look, a couple of riders off, Barry. Didn't make it through turn 1 on that first occasion.
Yeah, and it was a good start from Murabel Vitoni as well from row 2. He's up into 3rd currently, and he's got Chandra Hermawan just behind him. Nice little lead advantage into turn 3 for the Thai star, rising star, Pritapat.
Look at that next group just behind there, single file for a while. Then they were 3 and 4 abreast into turn 3 on the first occasion. But it's our poleman, Pritapat Kankum, that's got a little bit of a lead as they make their way down towards turn 4 for this first lap. And he's really tried to make a break at the front. He doesn't want to get involved in any of the shenanigans that went on for the entire race distance yesterday, as our race winner, Fadila Arbi, comes up into 2nd.
Yeah, great work from Fadila as well. As we saw yesterday, he looks like he's got a really cool head on his shoulders. He's fast, looks unflustered. Murabel Vitoni looks really determined here. A lot of riders off on the green there, Phil.
Yes, race control will be looking at that because half the field seemingly over the ripple strip, using more of the circuit than what they're entitled to do. We're coming round to complete this first lap now. Only a couple more corners. There's Cal Vietnam on board bike number 65. He's got off to a great start.
Yeah,
but look how much that lead has just been absolutely erased as they come down to turn 12 to complete that first lap.
Yeah, similar yesterday, wasn't it? When he looked like he was going to try and get away, but Fadila had other ideas, and so did Chandra. He's there, and Murabel Vitoni hanging in there as well this time.
Yeah, Galang Hendra also got off to a great start. He's in 5th position. See him trying to move his way forward. Tucked down behind the screen on board bike number 56. See just there, he's got a little bit of a gap in front of him. He's got Cal Vietnam right behind him on board bike number 65. But once again, as they make their way up that straight, you can see that the Yamaha R3 just has a little bit longer legs than the Honda CBR 250.
Yeah, without slipstream too. So yeah, that's a very well put together machine for sure. Murabel challenging for that P2 spot, chaser spot.
Is that Candra having a big look as well on the inside? Oh, that's tight. That's very tight. I think there might be a little bit of rubber on Murabel Vitoni's leathers there as they get back to the pits at the end of this race.
I think he helped Chandra get round the corner then.
Well, he had to make it round the corner, otherwise there was going to be absolute carnage. That's, as you mentioned before too, Barry, a very, very fast corner entry into that one as well. Oh, someone way off the circuit there, hand in the air. I'm not sure if that was gesticulating at another rider that had forced him off or he had some sort of mechanical problem. Galang Hendra still got Cal Vietnam right behind him, but importantly for the top 4, they've made a break by about half a second over that next group, with Murabel Vitoni, Cal Vietnam in there, and also I think it's Reichi Takahira on board bike number 44.
Yeah, Irfan Ardiantia, the number 16, always one to watch as Fadila takes the lead for the start of lap 3, and going wide there was Pritapat.
Yeah, that was very, very wide. He was lucky to try and get the bike back on track. Here comes Candra on board bike number 88 again. Was always around the front group yesterday in the race. I think it was the last lap or two. He just dropped off the pace a fraction, wasn't it? That was what allowed Pritapat and Fadila Arbi to dice it out for the race win at that final corner.
Yeah, Murabel going for a wide entry here, and so is Fadila. Oh, disappointment again for Reichi Takahira, the number 44 for TY Antares Racing Team.
Yeah, I think that may have been an incident down there at the final corner. Looks like it might be a mechanical problem rather than a crash though, I think, for the Japanese rider.
Yeah, no damage on the right side there.
Back to the front, we've got a group of 4 that have made a break. That gap looks like it's getting just a fraction bigger as well. I think it's out to just over a second now, Barry, over the other rider in 5th position.
Yeah, it's a clear breakaway now, and I think that rider in 5th is Cal Vietnam. Let's just take a look back Chandra currently on the back of that group. Yes, that is Cal Vietnam. Irfan Ardiancia lurking just behind him.
Wasn't it there yesterday that Irfan's race come to a very abrupt halt when he got it all wrong out of that corner?
That was his teammate, the other Irfan, Irfan Haikal.
I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, 2 Irfans in one team. You can never have enough, Phil.
So down into turn 12 we come. Well, big move on the brakes there from Mirabel Vitoni, but not quite enough to take the race lead. And it is yesterday's race winner, Fadila Arbi, that leads them across the line. That's 3 laps down, 7 to go. The pole sitter and the local hero, Kritapat Kenkum, just sitting there in 4th position. Aki Ayoshi doing a great job in that next group on board the Ninja ZX25R.
Yes, he is. He's widely appreciated what he's been doing on that Kawasaki throughout this paddock. Really good work. Kritapat comes again, showing the grunt that he's got in that R3.
Well, how good was the front end of that Honda? A lot of pressure being put on it there, and you can see that it did not move one fraction as he went into that corner. The bike looked like it was on absolute rails.
Well, you've remarked, Phil, having seen these bikes up close, that they are really tricked.
Oh, absolutely super trick.
Homologated race bikes, not to put too fine a points on it.
Yeah, I'd call them 250 super bikes.
Yeah.
And like the wheels that they're all running, and as we mentioned yesterday, gold seems to be the preferred colour in the wheels. They are so tricked, all of those wheels on those machines. They're sort of thing that you get to stand there and just look at them for quite some time. A lot of them have small little changes on them as well. I've noticed that some of the Yamaha R3s have got the front duct completely covered over, and they've got different little ducts in the side to aid with probably aerodynamics and also feeding air into their air boxes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we've got a leading group of 9 now, Phil. It was 4 a lap ago.
Yep, that second gap has just absolutely been completely and utterly erased. So they make their way around through turn 11. Around the outside, Mirabel Blatoni. It's an ambitious manoeuvre. He wanted to make sure that he kept his drive up. Cal Vietnam, look at him charging forward as well. He's up into 2nd position.
Yeah, he knows his way around. He won the last AP250 race here in 2024.
He'd have to be one of the most experienced riders in this field too.
Yeah, it's only a year or so that he's had really competitive machinery though. Good performance throughout as well so far by Mirabel Vitoni on the LFN 250.
Also a quick mention of the wild card, Napat Jatoum, who's doing a great job inside that top 12 as well. I think he would be the next rider through, leading the next group of riders.
Kalan Hendra making his presence felt, challenging for the top 3. It's the number 56 machine.
So it's the 2 Hondas lead from the Yamaha momentarily. You can see bike number 56 there, Galang Hendra Pratama. He's one of the R3s with the different fairing on the front. You can see the ducts on the side rather than in the middle of the front of the fairing. Just the sound of these bikes as they crackle and pop coming into the corners. You can tell that there's some pretty serious engine work done in there. They're not ones that come straight out of the showroom, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Cal Vietnam doing a good job in the front though.
Yeah, excellent work. And on the Yamaha there, Mirabel having a look. And he's got a whole hat-trick of Yamahas right behind him.
Fastest top speed in this race so far, 203.4 kilometres an hour from Aki Ayoshi on board bike number 37. And he's in that group now. What's he back into about 8th position? You can see him coming up the inside on the brakes, the only Kawasaki in that lead group. But once again, it is still the 2 Hondas that lead, with a trio of Yamahas all lined up behind. No, make that a quartet of Yamahas all lined up behind. Trying to break the Honda dominance. Of course, there were 2 Astra Hondas on the podium in yesterday's race in 1st and 3rd.
And interesting as we get to the half-distance mark, that Kritapat, who's had quite a quiet race so far, is moving himself back up towards the front. He started quick, but he knew he wasn't going to get away, so he allowed himself to go back into that group. Got going, Hendra and Irfan Ardianshah behind him now.
Yeah, that's a big move from Irfan on the brakes to move up into third.
And Aiki Yoshi in there too. Davina Brittani up there as well.
And Irfan Heikel's just dropped off the back of this group as well over the last lap or so. So I think we're down to about 10 now in the lead group.
So now this is interesting. For the first time this season, Irfan Ardianshah takes the lead. We know his quality, a former Astra Honda star in this class.
He'd love nothing more than probably to beat the Astra Hondas at their own game, which is winning races in the AP250 category. And look at that, Cal Vietnam was leading the race only a half a lap ago, and now he's back in about 6th or 7th position. You can see him back there on board bike number 65. He's at the Astra Honda team, looking on very nervously as the riders make their way down towards turn 12 to complete 6 laps.
Yeah, Fadilla well back there in 6th as well, yesterday's race winner.
Oh, both the Astra Hondas are a fair way back. As we see Murabul Vatoni move up into the lead momentarily, then completely swamped. I think remember yesterday from qualifying, Barry, it was the speed out of turn 12, the run through turn 12 and across the straight, where Kritapat Cancun was clearly faster than everybody else, on display there once again, as he wasn't in the lead as they came through turn 12, but he had a very, very handy lead as they got to turn 1.
Yeah, that's it, and he got through turn 1 well, and as you said, Phil, he really gets up that long straight. So we've got a Honda now, can't quite see which one it is, in P2.
I think it's yesterday's race winner.
Yeah.
Fadilla Arbi, who is also probably about to get absolutely swamped into turn 4. No, he manages to hold off the charging Irfan on 16.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of SCK except in the underbones in recent years, so now they're in the 250s. And Irfan has got them in a position where they can fight for this AP250 podium.
Well, and he's got the gloves well and truly on at the moment. He's in the middle of that fight.
Yeah, having known Irfan for a few years, he doesn't very often put his gloves on to fight.
Prefers to go the bare knuckle approach.
Absolutely.
Well, it makes you always ready. And he's got a battle at his hands at the moment, but it's coming from behind because he's got lots and lots of riders queuing up behind him to try and find their way past down this straight. Murabul Vatoni is the first one that tries to take action. In fact, it's Cal Vietnam that's also gone through as well, but gets it a little bit wrong on the run into turn 12, goes off onto the green. And all that's done is allowed Kritapat to catch up right onto the back of our yesterday's race winner, and a little bit of a gap formed behind the two of them. Pretty much exactly what we saw towards the end of yesterday's race.
Yeah, it's starting to look familiar, isn't it? With Chandra giving chase. Murabul in there as well. It's an impressive ride from the rookie. Brittani coming through there as well.
Well, Cal Vietnam back up into third place now. Irfan on 16 takes the narrow line and will go past him without even having to use any slipstream as they make their way onto the straight. Not usually a place where you see overtaking. Look at the 88 machine of Candra also making a move. You can see there was that Daniel Sayambi also moving forward on board bike number 57. He's coming from a fair way back in about 9th position as they went across the line.
But yeah, you said just now, Phil, we're seeing a bit of a familiar pattern, and with those two breaking away at the front, Kritapat and Fadilla, it does look a little bit like the run into the finish yesterday.
And what they're doing is they're making sure that they're not going to be involved in any shenanigans to try and sort out the lesser positions. They want to battle it out for the race win. But look at that group behind. They're all the riders that are battling for that last place on the podium at the moment. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 8 of them there in that group. That gap is getting bigger though. It's I reckon as they come around to complete this lap, we could be looking at at least a half a second gap.
Yeah, Daniel Sharmi getting into a bit of a fight there.
Look at the drive once again of our pole sitter, Critterpat. The way he gets out of turn 12, he literally just blasted on past yesterday's race winner, Fadila Arbi, without having to use any slipstream. It was all corner exit. They've got the gearing absolutely perfect for the run out of turn 12, and importantly, Barry, for a couple of laps' time to the finish.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So let's see what Fadila can do about that on the run up to turn 3.
What that looked like to me was that if he went into that corner in second place with the right track position, he could blast on past and take the race win, even from second place into the final corner.
Yeah, that's quite a key place, as we were saying at the start of the race. It's going into turn 3. Now they're coming up to turn 4. It's a blind entry to the corner.
This battle is getting more and more interesting, isn't it? How many, well, how close do you want to get as we go down into turn 4 there?
Yeah, looking increasingly like a knife fight for the final step on the podium.
Yeah, as they came across the line, the gap between the first two and the pursuing pack was just over a second.
Yeah, they're not going to be trying to catch up the two in front. They've gone. So they're just going to be fighting for track position. This is going to be the last 1.5 laps. Absolutely enthralling. Fernardiancha again having a look.
Was that out very wide there? You can see the bike moving around on the ripple strip. Still managed to hang on there though. I think that was Daniel Sahami that was up into the lead of that group. The Malaysian doing a good job. He's come from a fair way back.
So here's a rehearsal, Phil.
Yeah, you watch this. You watch the drive out of here for Critterpat. No, I think he's kept his powder dry on that occasion. I don't think he wants anyone to know what he's going to be up to at that final corner. He's used the slipstream to go past into the lead as they go through turn 1 on this final lap. 4.5 kilometres to go, Barry. 4.5 kilometres, 12 corners. Who is going to take the race win? Can Fadila do it again, or can our pole man, Critterpat Kenkum, take the race win after qualifying on pole and not scoring any points in yesterday's race? He's up the inside as they go into turn 3. They're both going to have to stop that bike very, very quickly, and they won't have the excellent drive out of here that they've had when they carry all of the corner speed as we head towards turn 4, but the gap over the pursuing pack is big enough that it's not going to matter.
Yep, they go down in line. On the other side of the track, you've got the chasing pack, led by Chandra, who came through in P2 yesterday after the drama. And now this is a crucial point. Who's going to get into the infield section first? Well,
Critterpat was deep on the brakes, but I think he may have run a fraction wide.
Yeah, just
on the exit of the corner.
They were side by side then. I think that...
That's Galang Hendra-Pratama, I think that's into the lead of that group now.
I think Fadila could have had the advantage there. When we come back to the front, we'll see. Yeah, it is. As they come up to turn 8.
Oh, there's weaving all over the place now. They realise the importance of this last lap. Corners are also dwindling down. It is still Galang Hendra-Pratama that leads that next group. But here we go. Final run down the straight now, Barry. And it is yesterday's race winner, Fadila Arbi, that leads.
We need 2 screens, Phil.
The pole sitter tries to go on the inside. He can't do it. Can he set himself up perfectly for the run through this final corner and get the run to the finish? He can't do it. Not from there. And it is going to be 2 from 2 for Fadila Arbi.
And there's a crash.
The Honda.
There's a crash at turn 12, but it's Cal Vietnam who wins that battle for the podium. The number 65 comes through. Delight in the Honda Racing Vietnam garage.
Well, you called it earlier on the weekend. He was on for a good result, and he's got a podium in the final race. He put himself in the right position on that last lap to take that podium. Congratulations to Cal Vietnam and the Honda Vietnam team.
Yeah, there's some quality and some ferocity.